back at the allotment. It's the 7th. It's Tuesday the 7th of May, just after another bank holiday. We've got a few jobs done over the weekend. Unfortunately, we had some successes and failures. We harvested our first crop. Nothing too exciting. It was only radishes, but at least we've got something out of the soil. And our first disaster. Unfortunately, in this part of the country, we've had some quite severe frosts. And despite coming down both nights to cover everything up, it looks as if the runner beans have bitten the dust. We did hear rumours that in the village slightly further up the hills than us, they actually had snow on Sunday morning, so it's probably not surprising that a few of us on the allotment have lost a few plants, but there we go. It's my own fault for trying to put things out too early. As I said, it's a learning experience this year, so that's something to bear in mind for next year. Maybe runner beans a bit later than April. So take you on a quick tour of what we've done so far. So this is the mighty radish crop. As I said, we've started harvesting those now. They're the French breakfast variety, so we've had them in one salad. The lettuce is starting to come on. Everything's a little dry at the moment, so we're hoping we'll get some rain this week to save us having to do some more watering. This was the main construction project this weekend. It's our new and improved brassica cage. Thank you, Laurie, in the background. We built the frame out of the remnants of an old shed that we had. I saved all the struts, so they came in handy. The cross beams are made out of pallet wood, and the netting itself is scaffold netting, the debris netting that they use for scaffolding. The brassicas seem to be holding up quite well. I'll show you inside so you can see how well the turnips in particular are doing. Here's the site of our first disaster, our poor runner beans, looking decidedly the worse for wear. I'm going to leave them in the vain hope that they might perk up and come back, but we're not very hopeful. But in the meantime, we're going to plant some new beans in between each of them, so that we've got a second crop coming up. We've got a few that we've planted up at home that are on the windowsill but still haven't shown up yet. And this was another construction at the weekend, a little trellis for the now non-existent beans to grow up. We've also constructed our compost bin out of pallet wood, so we've got somewhere to tidy all that away, so it's starting to look a bit neater now. And I finally dug over the last piece of land that hadn't been developed at all, just waiting for that to break down. Still not too sure of what we're going to do with that, because it is quite stony ground, so we might just use it for growing things in containers, maybe a little wildlife pond, or I'm even tempted to buy some little fruit trees, which might quite like it there. So here we are inside the brassica cage, where we put our turnips and assorted brassica, whose label we lost. Everything seems to be coming along okay in this bed in particular. The other bed, we're not too sure what's going on with this one. Some of the leaves are a bit floppy, so I'm wondering if it needs a good water. They don't look quite so healthy as these on the other side. Maybe a good watering will sort them out. We're due some rain, maybe later today, definitely tomorrow, so that should give them a good soaking. If anybody's got any ideas as to why they've gone all floppy, they could let me know. I'd appreciate it. Everything in the fruit bed seems to have settled down quite nicely. They're all transplanted or new plants. They all seem to be growing okay. They're all showing signs of new growth. The strawberries luckily survived the frost, we think. I think we had one where the flower had got the black bit in the middle, so we've nipped that off, but the rest of the flowers seem to have survived okay. So hopefully something will show from those. And we had to do a rescue job on the rhubarb. I think we'd buried it too deep. I asked for some advice on some of the forums and got lots of helpful hints, so we tried to put in a bit of shade, expose the crown a bit more, and it does look as if we've got a new shoot growing through, so hopefully we've saved it. Only time will tell. We've sown some peas in between the existing ones because they don't look too healthy. Put in some more runner beans between the plants that got attacked by frost, and planted a load of Swedes. Built a teepee for some more runner beans. We've got a few we're growing on at home, so I'll be able to plant them down here a bit later on. Here we are back at home. Yeah, pile of plants that were gradually hardening off. Got quite a few courgettes to go out. Probably still too early for them. Some Swiss chard. Some beetroots. More brassicas. And about 30 tomato plants. I'm going to try growing those outside, so that could be an interesting experiment. Have some carrots growing in a bucket. That seemed to be doing quite well. And we tried to do the pea in a gutter, or peas in a gutter. Unfortunately, we've ended up with a solitary pea in a gutter, but that could be down to the age of the seeds that we put in. I think it was just an old packet we found, and we thought we'd do an experiment, which has obviously failed miserably. Anyway, thank you for watching. Just a quick update of where we've got to so far. Hopefully the weather will improve now, so we can get a lot of the plants that were hardening off into the allotment. Hope you enjoyed watching our failures and odd success. If you've got any comments or advice, would like to point out where we're going wrong, please feel free to leave a comment below. If you want to follow our gardening misadventures further, please subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.